Yo, welcome back to the channel. This is day 6 on the road to full planche. Today's video is going to be a little different because I'm going to be training with a resistance band, but I don't have the right setup to train in my room, so I'm actually going to be going to the gym. As much as I like training in my room, I also like training at the gym or at the park because training in the room, training by yourself gets lonely. And sometimes being in the gym, I'm the only person in there that trains calisthenics. So on one hand, that is a little bit lonely too. But even when I get the straddle planche and I'm doing that in the gym, I think that'll definitely draw some attention to me and expose more people to the sport, which is ultimately what I want at the end of all of this. So yeah, I'm gonna be going to the gym today. I already warmed up, so we're gonna skip that part of the video. We're just gonna get straight into it. Alright, so this first set, I try to just lean into the advanced tuck planche, which is an entry that I probably shouldn't have done. I typically don't try to enter it that way, even though I was able to hold it still, but the form just wasn't that great. In this second set, I start in a regular tuck planche, and then I start trying to lean forward and bring my legs back. But I think at the beginning my hips were a little high, so still wasn't really that great with the band. I was able to hold it for a while, but the form still wasn't that great. I actually took notice of that because in this next set, the third set, I switch out to a lighter band and I go for the same thing where I start in the tuck planche and then try to bring my legs back. And it's kind of the same thing where my form does look a little bit better, but I think the issue is really in the pelvis and like that core engagement. I'm losing the hollow body position. And in these last few sets, I'm trying different ways of extending my legs. I'm doing it more slowly. I'm trying to make my legs more vertically down versus diagonally down. And I'm just trying to experiment with bringing my legs back in different ways to see if it affects my lower back, because my lower back is really the main issue from what I notice when I do the advanced tuck planche. You have to lean forward and you have to engage your glutes, and it's a completely different movement. So I think that's why I'm having so much trouble trying to do it properly. And to be honest, I'm not sure if the band is helping, but I think when it comes to learning this progression, this is probably the best way that I can bridge the gap. My next exercise is wall-assisted handstand push-ups, and I do these with parallettes, which I probably shouldn't have because even though these sit low to the ground, it adds a little bit more range of motion, which makes doing them a little difficult. Even though I can already do handstand push-ups on the wall, I opt to do 3 sets of 5 because I think that's enough volume for me right now. I can't do 3 sets of 10 or 8 or anything like that yet. I don't think I have the strength for it, even if I was doing this fresh. So I just go for 3 sets of 5. The next set, I decided to just go on my hands. I've always done them on my hands. Not having the parallettes, not having that extra range of motion definitely makes it a lot easier. And this was easily my best looking set performance wise and aesthetic wise. And on the last set, I opted to do them a little more vertically versus diagonally because I was kind of tired. And I think on the last couple of reps, I didn't go for full range of motion because I was fatiguing and my elbows were kind of flared out, so the form wasn't even that great. The third exercise was an elevated planche lean. I really like doing these elevated, so shout out to the guy who suggested that I do these. I think it was the first or second video where I was doing the planche, and I actually do 3 sets of these, but the first video kind of caught me off guard. Not caught me off guard, but the first video just wasn't that great in terms of composition. I was using my camera to film like I normally do. I was using my phone, so I had to play around with the composition a couple of times to get it right. But I did do 3 sets of these, so just have to put that out there. And yeah, as you can see, like the framing just isn't good, but I still do the set. And then the last exercise that I like doing, it's a conditioning exercise. It's honestly one of my favorites. These are reverse hyperextensions. And I like doing these with my legs straddled and with my legs together to simulate the straddle planche and the full planche. You can also do it with your legs in a half lay position, but I'm not planning to train for the half lay planche, so I opt not to have my legs in a half lay position. And when I like doing these, I like holding the top position for time, just to add more time under tension. But with this exercise, it's really good for the glutes and the lower back. And since it's a bit easier, I opt to go for a lot of volume. So you'll usually see me do anywhere from 12 to 15 sets of these. And yeah, that's pretty much the workout. When I got home, I was actually talking to somebody on Instagram. I want to give a shout out to Izzy Roll Fit. He was actually the guy who I saw doing this same type of series, and I caught him kind of early on in his journey. I think I first saw him doing day like 27 or something, and he was around the same stage as me where he was kind of struggling with the advanced tuck planche, but at this point he's pretty much got the full planche. After I got home for a little bit, I actually filmed myself. I listened to the advice that he was telling me, which is mainly involving the knees, and I tried doing them, and it didn't look that bad, to be honest. Even though my hips are too low, the way that my knees are in a good position and I have that posterior pelvic tilt. So the main thing now is to just have my hips more elevated to where they're on the same level as my shoulders. But I'm pretty satisfied with this, and I'm definitely going to start doing these more along with using some band work. That's kind of a post-workout thing, but I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I think I'm just going to grind it out, even though I'm not a fan of the advanced tuck, and this progression has really been annoying me and tripping me up lately. But I'm going to keep at it, and yeah, hopefully you guys learn something from this. Again, shout out to Izzy. I'm going to link his stuff down below. Definitely check him out. And yeah, I'll leave it there. I'll see you guys in the next video.